Hello and welcome to Canada Immigration Guide. Today we are going to talk about a targeted express entry which has drawn new categories that IRCC proposes. Before that, remember to subscribe, like, share and leave a comment. IRCC undertook recent public and stakeholder discussions in an effort to modify the Express Entry Application Management System better to address Canada's economic demands and workforce shortages. And in order to do this, the government intends to create express entry categories that focus on important characteristics such as educational background, professional experience, or proficiency in an official language rather than just a high score within the comprehensive ranking system. So, what are the targeted express entries proposed by IRCC, and why is the IRCC considering these targeted entries? Well, let's get started. A while ago, it was reported in an internal document from IRCC that the agency was considering implementing targeted express entry lotteries to choose applicants who would be the most suitable for Canada's labor market requirements. These lotteries would choose applicants based on how well they fit the requirements of Canada's labor market. According to the IRCC, these draws for express entry will start somewhere in the early part of 2023. In accordance with the mandates of the legislation, the Department of Homeland Security plans to consult with a diverse group of interested parties before implementing any additional express entry categories. According to IRCC, the Department of Defense is also getting ready for the technical implementation that will take place in the first quarter of 2023. In these most recent rounds of the express entry lottery, it's possible that unknown persons will be selected. On the other hand, the Immigration Minister of Canada will now have the authority to pick applications based on criteria such as applicant's line of work, level of language competence, or educational background. Combinations of a candidate's score on the Comprehensive Ranking System (CRS) are possible. Before the COVID-19 epidemic in Canada, there were not sufficient numbers of nurses available. The strains brought on by the epidemic have served merely to make circumstances more dire. The fundamental reason for the closure of emergency departments across Canada and the inability of Canadians to receive operations or specialist treatments is a severe shortage of registered nurses. Registered nurses were not among the top 15 positions accepted through express entry in any of the 3 most recent years for which data is available. Using the new targeted express entry draw method, which gives preference to candidates with experience in the National Occupation Classification (NOC) code 3012, Canada may choose to invite nurses from express entry pool. This prioritizes applicants who have experience in the field. It should be emphasized that the aforementioned scenario is only one of the many conceivable ways in which the new targeted express entry draws may concentrate on certain occupations. It's possible that these programs are aimed at other high-demand occupations. Manufacturing, retail trade, healthcare, social assistance, and hotel and food services are the 5 primary businesses that account for the bulk of available employment across the nation, as stated by Statistics Canada. When considering applicants based on their educational backgrounds, in addition to those considering candidates based on their vocations, there are opportunities that are analogous to one another. It is possible that the Government of Canada will decide to give precedence to candidates who possess certain educational credentials in the event this occurs. A high score on a language test is already a crucial component of what is considered to be a competitive comprehensive ranking system (CRS) score for each and every candidate in the express entry pool. On the other hand, choosing applicants based on their level of language competence would make it possible for Canada to address a key challenge in its immigration policy, which is the problem of enticing French-speaking immigrants to regions outside of Quebec. The federal government of Canada, as part of its Francophone immigration strategy, has legally established the target of 4.4% of immigrants outside of Quebec being French-speaking by 2023. Only 2.8% of all immigrants admitted to Canada in 2019 were from countries other than Quebec who spoke French as their first language. In 2020, over 7,000 candidates who spoke French were invited through express entry. This represented approximately 7% of total invitations. Express entry only accounts for around 1/4 of all immigration admissions to Canada, Despite the fact that Canada has already surpassed its objective of having 4.4% of immigrants from regions rather than Quebec speak French by the year 2023, it is possible that Canada's Immigration Service may hold targeted draws for the Express Entry program in order to meet the goals set by the government of increasing the number of Canadians who are fluent in French. One way to expedite this process would be to provide an invitation to candidates for Express Entry who have provided official test results demonstrating that they have achieved a certain score in French language proficiency. Given the imminent adjustments that will be made to the Canadian Express Entry program, it is without a doubt an excellent moment for you to begin your Express Entry application if you have not already done so. Express Entry has been modified as a result of Canada's rapidly growing population and one of the world's lowest birth rates, 1.43 children per woman, both of which have contributed to the country's low fertility rate. The aging of the population creates a larger need for social services, while at the same time, the tax base continues to shrink. It would be incredibly challenging to maintain Canada's social services, such as the country's healthcare system, if there was not a greater influx of talented immigrants. Some of the most severe labor shortages have recently been apparent as the global economy shifts toward more environmentally friendly, digital, and automated businesses. The deficiencies in skills as well as the expanding number of employment opportunities in significant industries such as healthcare, construction, and professional scientific and technical services are factors that are contributing to the shortages. Training of a substantial and specialized kind is required in each of these fields. So, what do you think about the Express Entry program? Do you think that it's a more efficient way for qualified immigrants to be processed faster? Please let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching this episode. Hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.